Good morning, everyone. I am Wing Commander Ranjit Kumar Mandal from Bangalore. I am the principal of BGS World School Chikbalapur and director of BGS World Schools, and also I am the vice president of Indian Association of Adolescents Health New Delhi and president of Indian Association of Adolescents Health Karnataka chapter. Today I will be talking to you about paramilitary forces of India. It's a great pleasure to talk to you because I was in Bijapur for 2 years. I love this place, love the people, and let me talk to you about paramilitary forces. And whenever there is an opportunity, I love to talk to you face to face. While talking about paramilitary forces, let us understand what is the term the paramilitary means. We are all aware of paramedicine. Let's understand that to understand the paramilitary better. Paramedicine is the stream of activities, those who are helping the main medicine practitioners. Medicine practitioners are doctors and dentists. And paramilitary practitioners, paramedicine practitioners are the people who help them, like your pharmacist, nurses, physiotherapist, laboratory professionals, etc. If these people do not support, medical professionals cannot function efficiently. Similarly is the paramilitary forces. There are two terms together here, military and paramilitary. If we talk of military, there are three wings or three streams which make the military forces. Military forces, three streams are Army, Navy, Air Force. These three streams of people, they are fully armed, they are specialists in their own activities, and they save our country from the external aggressions. They fight the enemies coming from outside. So military forces of a country are Army, Navy and Air Force. They fight the external enemies coming from outside the border and they protect our country. But military forces cannot guard the border all the time. To guard the border all the time, we have paramilitary forces. They are called the assisting services. Let us learn little bit about military, then only you'll be able to understand the paramilitary. When you talk about Army is the largest organization and the oldest organization in the armed forces. It comes under Minister of Defense, and Supreme Commander of Armed Forces is the President of India. And each and every force has its chief, like Chief of Army Staff, Chief of Naval Staff, and Chief of Air Staff. And all the three chiefs come under a combined chief, that is Combined Defense Services Chief, CDS Chief. Army has different wings, like infantry, that is the people who fight on foot. They climb the mountain, they go in the desert and walk across and fight. Next is armored, means the tanks. The tanks are taken inside and people sitting in the tank or being inside the tank, they attack the fire back to the enemies. Then artillery means big guns installed at the back side, and it goes few kilometers, maybe 20-30 kilometers other side. That guns are your bombs go in the air and they get dropped onto the spot where you want to. Signals corps, signal people are the communicators. Then there are engineers quickly make the blaze in the battlefield. They put the mines into the field and they make the infantry and other people move ahead. There are transport corps. The transportation is important, otherwise military cannot move. And there is supply corps. The supply corps people give the food, ammunition, clothing, etc. in all places wherever army people go. And they have the medical team are all the time with them to treat the patients, treat the injured soldiers. We have engineering corps. Engineering people are there to support the people for their accommodation, for their road, water, electricity. And side by side in all the organizations we require some accounts and administrative people, so that people in the armed forces also, in the battlefield also, they get the salary, they can send home money. If we talk about the formation of army, the smallest size of army is called section, is of 10 soldiers group. Then 3 sections make a company, 3 companies make a platoon, then platoon makes your, after platoon it becomes a brigade, then few brigades make a corps, few corps make a division, and after that comes under command. We have got 5 commands in army: northern, southern, eastern, western and central command. And headquarters of army is in Delhi. So this is what's army. After this, people are recruited by army, they trained, then they take care of them for their growth. They do the promotion examinations, further training, and prepare them for the promotions. And when they retire, we take care of their pensions, medical, etc. That's what the military. When we talk about army, next organization is navy. Navy is the second in the seniority of the armed forces. Naval people fight for the enemies, against the enemies coming from outside through sea routes. Army is called Thal Sena, Navy is called Nau Sena, and then comes Vayu Sena, that is Air Force. Naval people have got three surfaces. One is this: they move around on the ship, big ships, and fire the guns from the ship. And there are people who go underneath the water through submarines. They shoot the enemies inside the sea, or they put the bombs below the water, and the bombs hit the enemy ships. And there is aviation wing of the navy. Those people, when the ship go here and there, from the ship they take off and then fight the enemy. This is the navy. The third in the hierarchy is the Air Force. Air Force has got pilots basically. Pilots only fight, and of course nowadays there are missiles sitting in a stationary place. They shoot the missiles. Air Force has got different types of pilots. One is fighter pilot, second is bomber pilot, third one is transport pilot, then helicopter pilot. Helicopter pilots also do bombing, and while they do bombing, they do photography, and that gives the picture of the enemies. When Army, Navy, Air Force, they fight, they cannot all the time remain in the border. They remain alert, and day-to-day guarding of the border or day-to-day patrolling of the border is done by the paramilitary forces. Now, Army requires paramilitary forces for the land. Navy requires paramilitary forces to watch and ward the sea routes or sea coast, and Air Force doesn't require any paramilitary forces. When you talk about Army, what are the paramilitary forces we have? The first paramilitary forces we have is our Assam Rifle. And paramilitary forces, when Britishers came to our country, when the northeastern region was disturbed and they have not settled themselves well, they have first established the paramilitary forces called Assam Rifle. And those days, entire northeast was one state. Your Mizoram, Meghalaya, Arunachal, and other places, other states were not formed. So entire northeast was Assam, and they formed an Assam Rifle, that the paramilitary forces for the northeast. After that, they have made 5 special frontier police forces. 5 special frontier police forces. There are our paramilitary forces. First among them is ITBP, Indo-Tibetan Border Police. Why Indo-Tibetan Border Police is required? Because Tibet is the highest altitude battlefield for our country. We have seen recently that Chinese people aggression took place there, and our people fought. This Indo-Tibetan Border Police people are the regular patrolling people. They see the movement of the enemies, and they inform the army forces, and they go. And ITBP was established in 1962. And next is BSF, Border Security Force. Border Security Force does the guarding of the entire border of the country. You talk about the desert of West, talk about the mountain regions of other part of the country. They do the entire guarding of the entire border forces, or you can say land borders. Then comes your CRPF, Central Reserve Police Force. They are the people who remain in the center, and whenever there is requirement, they are deployed. Like election time, in the riots and other kind of disturbances inside, they fight. They protect the law and order of the country. Then next force is CISF, Central Industrial Security Force. The big industrial areas, we require some organization to guard them continuously. The CISF was done. These days, when you are traveling by air, you will find that some people are doing a security check. This has been given to the CISF. It is a very sensitive job they do. Then comes your SSB. SSB is a force which is seen only in the Bengal area, because SSB is a force, we call it Special Security Ball. Ball means strength, your force. Special Security Force, you can call it SSB. They guard the borders of Nepal and Bhutan. Why Nepal and Bhutan? These two countries are our friendly countries. We do not require passport to go there. This friendship, or you can say relationship with this country, is little different. So they are, these two borders are secured by SSB. This is what is our paramilitary forces for the army. Then comes the naval paramilitary forces. Paramilitary force navy is called Coastal Guard. Coastal Guard people are securing the entire coast, entire sea route, right from Gujarat to entire south and goes up to the Calcutta Sundarban area, Calcutta port. An entire area, and they do, their jurisdiction is 3 kilometers from the land point. The 3 kilometers of the water is supposed to be done, checked by them. They have their small boat, medium boat, and launch, water launcher. They carry arms and weapons, because when they get the enemies in front of them, they have to tackle them, they have to fight with them. But basic warfare is done by, in the air, is done by our naval forces. The Coast Guard is doing the guarding of the coast. That's why their name is Coast Guard. Now, what's the difference between military forces and paramilitary forces? All the three military forces come under Ministry of Defense. They are central government employees. Their fund comes for center. Whereas paramilitary forces are the organizations coming under Home Ministry, because they do not fight exactly the enemies of outside. They are inside. They even help the government, your central administration, to safeguard the interest of the country or safety of the people, and that's why they are paid by Home Ministry budget. They are coming under Ministry of Home Affairs. And paramilitary and military, two major differences: they are coming under Ministry of Defense. Paramilitary forces are coming under Home Ministry. They follow the same structure. When it is a small force, they cannot have the senior officers, because senior officers require a lot of training. So paramilitary forces, basically the Indian Police Service, IPS people come, and they become their DG, Director General, etc. Their rank structure is like a police, like your DG, IG, DIG, etc. Whereas armed forces it is something like that. First starts with lieutenant, then comes captain, then comes major, then comes lieutenant colonel, then comes colonel, then comes brigadier, then major general, lieutenant general, and general, and then we have our field marshal in some cases, field marshal and marshal of the Indian Air Force, and then comes our CDS. All of them come under Minister of Defense, and Supreme Commander of Armed Forces is our President of India. That is what I want to say about military forces, and I hope you have understood. In case you have any questions, you can put it in the maybe WhatsApp, or maybe in the oral message, and I'll answer you maybe in the record, or maybe through the mails and WhatsApp. Thank you very much.